quality control. What's up, Skye? You don't like the smells, do you? Anyway, this is the side that I'm probably going to need a couple of passes on the filler. It was quite badly pitted, so we'll see how it cleans up. I'm trying to put the minimum amount on, so literally just filling the scratches on those two, and I'm going to let the primer filler smooth it out, kind of thing. That end's all right. There wasn't a tiny little blip there, so I'm reasonably okay with that. That's my dolly setup. It's they use them for shifting cars around in showrooms, apparently. Anyway, got the stand bolted on there, so it can't really go anywhere. And then this ends on a saw. Right, off we go. This is supposed to be an action shot. This isn't a shot of you loved up. Eh? Go and find your nut on, see if you can rustle yourself up some tea. Come on, help me. Etch primer's on, bit fraught. I thought I'd be able to reach over and get all that section, but yeah, I'm in the process of buggering about on that side trying to reach. Whether you can see it, there's a sag somewhere there. Anyway, need to be able to improve on that, because etch primer you can damn near throw it on and it don't dribble or sag. It's also mixed at about 40% thinners. But happy to report that the areas of filler all right, and yet I've missed a hole here somehow. Don't know what that's from. To investigate. That looks all right. Yeah, well, it's just a bit tight for space. Just put a pair of hares up. It's both sat now watching me. While the paint's drying on the tub, which is the first coat of the undercoat primer, thought I'd start stripping this down, which is one of the pair of side panels. It's kind of like, where do you start? I don't particularly want to take everything off, but the windows are going to come out. And I don't particularly want to take it all back to metal. And these are all the solid rivets. That's had some knocking. I don't see how I can take that captive bolt out without taking them out. Seal's buggered along the bottom. That'll never come out. Yeah, I'll have to have a bit of a think about this one. I'm actually wondering whether I can, if I keyed it up and rather than taking it back to metal, key it up, clean it all off, key it up, and then do a test coat of etched primer on it, and just mask off the galv bits. They'll want cleaning up anyway. It flipped over. Well, the state of that top seal. That'll never float. Yeah. We're just going to cut these out, the window seals. I found a place on eBay that's flogging them, not horrendous, but I think it's 15 quid for 4 metres. That seal's perished. It's cracking. Yeah, that'll be the door seal, won't it? Yeah. Right, let's get the rubber off it and start seeing where we're at. So I think the roof seal just pushes in, because there's now a lot holding it. Some kind of broken plastic clip there. Well, that's off. That's original, but that's a convoluted way of doing it, isn't it? I wonder what that's entailed. Can't believe the design just to lift them off. Maybe they were lift away side panels. The same pushing seal along the bottom by the look of it. It's interesting that the seal joint, apart from it being rather wide, has been put in at the top. So any water that hits it, it's going to run on the inside. I would have thought you'd put it at the bottom, and it's the same on them both. And then the back one's halfway up. Even that makes more sense than putting it at the top. Maybe it's so that there's less, there's less water gathers on that point. Anyway, just a quick look that these three work in conjunction with these 4, and they bolt that section onto a facing piece, which I'll show you on the end there, which comes down and traps this top padding. So I'm going to try and keep that because it's nice and soft, and I bet you can't get them. Just don't know what that clipped off. Anyway, got my Stanley knife. Get rid of that seal now. The seals are shot, so I'm just cutting them out. Otherwise it's a hell of a lot of wrestling for saving, what, 15-20 quid. And they'd probably leak if I kept them anyway. And then repeat for the other side. And once you cut off the inner lip, it just lifts out. Or a small residual bit of stickiness. just the little one on the end. The gouges out of that. Yeah, I think this is going to be a fairly intense tickling up as opposed to a full refurb. Reet, one down, one to go. So the seal on the other side at the top, this one seems to be bonded in. It's not, the one just lifted out, but this is fighting all the way. Horrible bloody things. I shall have to make friends with the seal manufacturer. So the lower edge seal, and that's the end of it, is basically shoved in past this lip and then it's just bonded in. So I'm assuming that that's originally how the top was. And these things are spot welded on, so there's no adjustment of them. And they're not particularly precise if you look at the gap. It's not what you call a straight line. So I don't think it's critical to see if I can find something that profile, but it's definitely got a bit of foaminess to it. Anyway, I've got to see if I can free up these, especially the corner ones, because that's got no thread on it, so it'll want replacing. And I know that they sit with a rubber grommet, like a rubber ring round there. Hey up. So that clip is intact. Up news, damn it. No idea what that does. Curtains, who knows? I'm only assuming, but judging by the way it's held on at the bottom, which is once behind the door pillar, of which that's the door pillar, one's there, and again there, then on the corner, and then on that end corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You undo them, plus the row of holes along the front of the roof to the top of the dashboard, and you take the roof and the sides off in one. I think that's how it's designed and made up. So that would be, originally it would have been a permanent joint, or as good as I could get it, which makes sense. I've just got to decide now how far do I want to go with this, because, you know, in the perfect world I'd have all the galvanised bits off and send them away for dipping and galvanising again. But I'm actually thinking stick a wire wheel around them and call them done, mask them off, and not all this lot, just wire wheel it. And basically, unless it's the galvanised fittings, what I'm actually thinking is clean it all down, spray it with extra primer, and then give it a couple of other coats. Because I really don't want to get into a full restoration of these. They're not that bad. I just want to make the thing waterproof and secure. This end, the frames wants a bit of TLC, bent out. And I might even take that top hinge off, because I won't use that with my cat flap. Anyway, either way, I've got to free up these rods, take them out, sort an alternative arrangement. Yeah, tea time now. Slightly overcast morning, but at least it's not baking up. What do you think, Skye? You're a happy dog, aren't you? Off he goes then. Well, thankfully that stage is done. It's had 4 coats on the basis of I messed one up, so I had to take a load of it off. Just too heavy with it. Mainly as a result of trying to use my left hand on access, and it's just not as smooth, but it's looking all right. Doesn't pay to have too close a look at it, but as my friend Craig from CSM restorations. I'll put a link in my next vid. As he says, you know, as long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. It's your car. Yeah. Anyway, I have now used 5.5 litres of undercoat primer on what I've painted so far. Thankfully I bought another tub, so I've got another 3 to go. Get some colour on tomorrow. You recording? Mm-hmm. Don't scratch it.
I can't.
Hang on. Hold up. Magnus now. Taylor now, come round to your left. Just gently. Lower it down there. Gently. There we go. Push it a bit more towards Nat on your side. No. That's it there. That's it.
That needs to go.
Yeah, I can do the rest of the shuffling, you see.
Oh,
It's got to come my way.
Yeah, we're just sat on for now. Because there's quite a few things I've got to finish off on the chassis, like the fuel line and pump for the tank and that sort of thing. In which case I'll probably have to lift the tub off, but I don't think that looks too bad. Doesn't look massively over manicured. Be better when the galv work's gone back on, cappings and straps and whatever. I've put the bracing pieces on these, but I've got to adjust that one because it's just 1/4 inch too long for some reason. So it's just throwing that bottom corner out just a bit. Otherwise it's all good. I've got some plastic pads to go between this and the aluminium, and I'll use probably something similar on the inside to stop that corrosion around that brace and the outer panel, and the same on there. Yeah, there we go.